Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. If you guys don't know, my name is Bre and this is Breatiful Teaching. I'm a second year teacher in 5th grade and this is just my life teaching. On this channel, I love to talk about teaching, what I do in the classroom, give teacher tips, throw in a little bit of beauty, but anyways, welcome. So for today's video, I just wanted to open up to show you 2 new products I put into my TPT store. I'm just gonna talk about them very quickly. So the first product on TPT that is now in my store, my complete Persuasive writing pack. I created it in mind that you choose the prompts, but everything you need, such as graphic organizers and your writing focus wall, is all in that pack. And I also included a rubric. If you want to know how I teach writing, I do the same thing every 2 weeks. So we do a 5-paragraph essay every 2 weeks. We have 2 a month, and right now we're working on persuasive writing. That's the only thing I have right now in my TPT store. If you'd like to watch that video of me literally giving a day-by-day, chunk-by-chunk breakdown, the video is in the description box below. Now, this is going to support that video and even your classroom if you need it. Writing is one of my favorite things to teach, and it's simply because I learned this. I went to a PD last year for 3rd grade. I looked at the 5th grade standards and I kind of just tweaked it and made it my own and made stuff to go with it. So that's what this is. So in the pack you will be getting, we actually did one on Martin Luther King. I always do source 1 on the front. I put a spot for you to put the score, the name. On the back, I didn't right now because I just printed this real quick as example. I always print this on the back, which I included in the pack. It just does not have the name and score. So on the back, students can use a double-sided piece of paper for their circle map. All right, so what I also included is my writing flow map. I included 2 options. You can either print it in color or you can print it in black and white. I personally like to do black and white because it's cheap. So here is the flow map. I put the flow map in an actual typed version. So we have the type of writing the students are working on. They're going to write persuasive for this example. They're also telling me what the topic is. So they're just lightly, or they're just going to paraphrase what their topic is, what they're writing about. For example, right now in class, we're working on giving a persuasive essay on how Martin Luther King Jr. was a great leader. And then lastly is the name. Here are the transitional words, and what I do in my class is I will show you my writing focus wall momentarily, and it correlates to this. Again, just watch the video if you're curious. It's really helpful. So this is our red paragraph. We're actually gonna start on this tomorrow. Students are going to outline. If you decide to do it in black and white, have your students outline the transitional word color in red, orange, green. Just have them outline it, just so you don't have to use colored ink. And there's also a back. Something new that I added is a checklist. It's a checklist to help students kind of, you know, check off if they finished all the steps. So I have, after typing your final, here's some steps that they should check off. Here's turning in. Make sure they turn in with all these things. And then I also have them write the due date on here, just so they are well aware of when the due date is. And I always have it due on a Friday. I also included erased if you did not want this. If you want to add it in yourself, you can. I just simply left the words checklist with this. Here is a copy that I have used in my class of the persuasive rubric. Here, again, if you want to see how I use this, watch the video, but I grade on production, grammar, and the blue paragraph is what I am primarily grading my students on, and a total down here. And I left these blank so you can give as much points as you feel fit. I personally grade with 25 points. So here is my new and improved writing focus wall. Here is where we did source 1. I always do a large one in front of the class while the students work on the individual, and they copy off my large with their individual. Here's source 2, this is the back, and here's the prompt. I just write a simple prompt. So you guys can see in my video how I can really just create every persuasive essay with this. I love this model because all they have to memorize are a few things. all the body is the same, and I like to keep it color coordinated just to have students remember red, orange, green, blue, pink. Source 1, source 2. I like to keep a list of the narratives and persuasive essays we have written, and this is for my Persuasive pack. So I have this all available in my store. And again, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about with anything I'm mentioning right now, go ahead and watch my video down below. It'll give you all the information you need and how I teach writing. The next thing I created is Personification in 5th grade anchor chart. And when I created this, I thought about how can I make an anchor chart interactive? How can I have buy-in with the anchor chart for students to remember, oh, I don't really remember personification. Let me just remind myself by using my focus wall. I want my students to use my focus wall. So I created this anchor chart interactive tool. Now we have not done it yet. We are doing it on Thursday. I just want to show you what it consists of. All right, so here is the anchor chart. It's on my smart board. I almost tripped. It's just here just to show. So here is here's personification. Here's the definition. And in my video, I give a simple lesson plan that I will be doing in my class for a mini lesson, as well as in the pack, so you can follow along what I did in the pack with my lesson design. Here's one example of personification as an idea, an object, or an animal. Here they're underlined. The explicit examples are underlined of personification in each example. So my idea was with this activity is we're gonna talk about personification, go over the 3 different types of examples, and then that's my I do. We're gonna talk about the different types of examples, which are on there. So I'm gonna talk about personification, give my own example. I'm gonna pull sticks and do the we do with 3 examples. And then for the I do, for the students working on, I created this. It's also in my pack. So what they're going to do is create their own sentence using personification. They're going to underline the examples of personification and draw a picture to go with. Now I have underlined here, you can also have students highlight, which is what I may do because I think my students really love to use the highlighters, and any kind of buy-in I love. So it comes 6 up on a page. What students are gonna do is they're going to do their little example as their I do. When they're done, they're going to tape it onto the anchor chart. They're going to tape this onto the anchor chart. And so it's gonna, when it's done, it's gonna look really pretty, and there's just gonna be a whole bunch of like sticky notes on it. Not really, they're not sticky notes, but there's gonna be a whole bunch of sticky notes to go on with it. And I added a little bit of art and some writing in there. And then the next day, to reinforce more practice, is I printed out this personification practice worksheet. And I really don't like simple answer choice worksheets. I kind of want them to think a little bit more, label some things. So what they're going to do is they're going to read each sentence and underline the word or phrase that are examples of personification. So they're going to draw a picture of the sentence and then explain how the underlined word or phrase is personification. So for example, it says the river offered its water freely to anyone who needed it. They're going to highlight or underline the example of personification in number 1. We're gonna do number 1 together. They're gonna draw a picture of a river offering its water to anyone who needed it. So I could draw a picture of a river with a deer drinking water. And then they're gonna explain to me why and how this is personification. This sentence uses examples of personification because a characteristic a person does. So that's what I'm looking for. Something along the lines of that. Then they're gonna do you do, because this is a practice. I also added some differentiation when students are creating their own personification examples. I even have a sheet that you can shine on the board or on the computer of phrases to use as examples if they need help, such as cat danced, angry sky, gentle wind, stars winked. So that is available in my TPT store. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will catch you guys in my next video. And if you haven't done so already, go ahead and subscribe. I do a lot of lesson ideas, talking about teaching, day in the lives, week in the life, get ready with me, beauty, everything teacher related. Just hit subscribe if you want to follow me on my journey. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in my next video.